For 2 weeks between late December 2024 and early January 2025, I was traveling down in South America with my girlfriend, enjoying the sunny and warm 75-degree weather. We explored many fascinating cities and countries, including La Paz, Bolivia, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Montevideo, Uruguay. However, all good things must come to an end, and I was thrust out from this warm paradise and plunged back into the freezing cold winter snow in New England. However, I am an ardent masshole, so that's perfectly fine with me.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. And now that I'm back in Massachusetts again, I thought to myself, how can I become reacquainted with this great state? Well, today we're going to be doing yet another challenge video, and for today's challenge, I'm going to be spelling out the entire state name of Massachusetts, that means all 13 letters, by physically driving to and visiting cities and towns in Massachusetts that correspond with each letter in the word Massachusetts. Basically, what I mean is I'm going to be physically visiting cities and towns in Massachusetts that begin with a letter in the word Massachusetts until I spell out the entire word Massachusetts. So for example, I'm going to be driving to and visiting a city or a town here in Massachusetts that begins with the letter M. Once I visit that city or town, I'll capture it, and that will correspond to the letter M in the word Massachusetts. Next up, I'll drive to a city or a town in Massachusetts that begins with the letter A, and that'll correspond to the A in the word Massachusetts. I'll do that for the S, then the second S, then the second A, so on and so forth, as I cycle through all 13 letters within the word Massachusetts by visiting 13 cities or towns in Massachusetts until I fully spelled out the word Massachusetts. That means I'll have to visit 13 towns or cities that each begin with a letter in the word Massachusetts. Now, there are many rules that will make this challenge operate smoothly and effectively. I'm going to go through those rules right now, and hopefully that'll explain the challenge a little bit more. It is admittedly a bit convoluted at first, but essentially we're going to be spelling out the word Massachusetts by visiting Massachusetts cities and towns. Let's go through the rules right now and see what this challenge is going to be all about.
The rules are as follows. Number 1. I must begin the challenge at a Massachusetts city or town randomly generated by an online program, with no personal tampering or input. I only have one chance to generate this city or town. However, all island towns are immediately disqualified, and landing on one will result in a redraw. This excludes Gosnold, Nantucket, and all Martha's Vineyard towns, since this challenge would be near impossible to complete when starting from one of them. Number 2. To capture a city or town with a needed letter, I must fully enter the municipality's borders and film myself in front of the city or town hall. Number 3. I cannot capture a city or town that borders the city or town I just captured. In order to capture a city or town with a needed letter, I must travel at least one city or town away from my previously captured municipality. Number 4. I cannot reuse towns or cities for identical letters. You can only capture a municipality once. This means that repeated letters like A, S, and T must each be represented by a unique city or town. In order to randomly generate a starting location, I dropped a list of all 351 Massachusetts municipalities into random.org and asked it to randomly generate a list for me. Whichever town or city was listed at number 1 would instantly become my starting location. Sure enough, after clicking randomize, the program chose the city of Leominster as the number 1 spot, and it thus became my starting location. So as you saw, that program randomly generated the city of Leominster, Massachusetts to be my designated start city. So that means I must begin the challenge from here in Leominster, Massachusetts. And you can see I'm currently standing in front of Leominster City Hall. Just a reminder, to fully capture a city or town, I have to visit that city or town's hall, which is typically in the middle of the city or town. So we're starting here at Leominster City Hall in the city of Leominster, Massachusetts, and we're going to begin this challenge shortly. Now, obviously, the word Leominster does not begin with any letter in Massachusetts. It begins with the letter L, so we basically have to go to our very first town or city, which will begin with the letter M. So let's get into that right now.
All right, guys, so we're back in my car again. We're parked right outside of Leominster City Hall. And now is the part of the challenge where we strategize, which in my opinion is the most fun part of the challenge because that's when we get to figure out where we're going next. Now, I wanted this challenge to be as natural and random as possible, so I did not do any pre-planning or any predetermination or pre-strategization before I started shooting this video. This is all going to be completely natural and off the dome. We're going to be strategizing together. Again, I did not do any planning prior to shooting. I have no clue where I'm going, and I have no clue where I'm going to end up by the end of the video. Now, just to show you what we're working with here, I have a map of all 351 towns and cities here in Massachusetts. Again, this is all 351 towns and cities in Massachusetts. Now, with this map, I also have a yellow highlighter. Each time we capture a city or town, I'm going to be marking it down on the map with a yellow highlighter. By the end of the video and by the end of the challenge, we should hopefully have 13 towns and cities highlighted with this marker on this map. Now, right now, I'm going to strategize where to go next. But to give you guys a clear visual, I will have that same map right here in the corner of the screen so you can kind of look along with me and maybe even see what you would do if you were in my situation. So starting here in Leominster, Massachusetts, we have a couple options we can work with. We could go to Maynard, Massachusetts. We could go to Marlborough, Massachusetts. I'm not going to lie, based on this map, I am sort of leaning towards Marlborough. I think Marlborough is a larger city in terms of area, and I think as a result, there's just more options to work with there. Maynard is a lot smaller, and it's in more of a reclusive location. So based on this map, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to Marlborough, Massachusetts first, and we're going to go to that city hall, Marlborough City Hall, and capture that, and that'll be the very first letter to spell out Massachusetts. So let's do that next. Let's go to Marlborough, Massachusetts. We're going to capture that and get the very first letter of this challenge, the letter M. Let's do it. All right, guys, so we are just mere minutes away from our very first city, Marlborough, Massachusetts, which will be the first of 13 cities and towns we need to spell out the word Massachusetts. So we're going to be arriving at Marlborough City Hall very shortly. That'll give us the letter M for Massachusetts, the very first letter. And then we'll go from there, do some more strategization, figure out what the next step is, which I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah, we're going to be arriving at Marlborough City Hall very shortly. So I'm interested to see where we go from there. So I'll catch you there in just a few minutes. Okay, guys, so we are currently in the city of Marlborough, Massachusetts right now, and as you can see directly behind me, we are currently in front of Marlborough City Hall, which apparently is under construction and covered in scaffolding, but I swear this is Marlborough City Hall, which means we have officially made it and captured our very first city, Marlborough, which begins with the letter M. So we officially have the letter M, 1 out of 13 letters needed to spell Massachusetts. So again, here we are, Marlborough City Hall. You got it right there, good. And now let's strategize and see where we're gonna go next. Meet you in the car. All right, guys, so I'm back in the car again. We are currently sitting here in downtown Marlborough, and we're gonna begin strategization. I do just want to show you on the map right here, I've officially highlighted the city of Marlborough in yellow. You can see we got our very first city, spelling out the letter M in Massachusetts. So we currently have the letter M, 1 of 13. But I'm going to figure out where we're going to go next. So looking at where we are right now, it looks like our two best options are Acton, Massachusetts, and maybe Ashland, Massachusetts. We could also go to Auburn. Now the problem is both Acton and Ashland border cities and towns that begin with the letter S, which is what we need next, which is kind of annoying because as you saw in the rules, I can't immediately go from one letter to another letter that borders that letter. Basically, we can't go from Ashland to, for example, Sherborne, which is right next to Ashland. That's illegal for the challenge rules. So this is actually a tough one. This is a tough one, actually. I'm not gonna lie, Ashland is not looking good. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Or we could do Ayer. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Auburn. Auburn's a little farther away, to be honest, than Acton or Ashland, but again, I'm not doing any pre-strategization further out, but based on the next step, it actually looks like that might pay off. So I'm gonna go to Auburn next. Let's do it. All right, guys, so very shortly we will be pulling up on our second town, that is Auburn, Massachusetts. Auburn will count towards the letter A in spelling the word Massachusetts. So again, that's number 2 of 13. So pulling up on Auburn City Hall very shortly, we'll be capturing letter A, and then gotta figure out where we're going next. So I'll catch you guys once I reach Auburn City Hall, which should be in like 2 minutes. All right, guys, so we've arrived in the town of Auburn, Massachusetts, and as you can see directly behind me, we are currently standing in front of Auburn Town Hall. This right here means that we just captured the letter A. So far we have the letters M and A, Auburn for A, 2 of 13. So now that we're here in Auburn, now that we're here in front of Auburn Town Hall, we can head back to the car in a second and strategize where the next town will be. Not really sure yet, but I'm interested to see where we'll be heading next. But anyways, just showing off that I'm currently here right in front of Auburn Town Hall here in Auburn, Massachusetts. And yeah, let's head right back to the car and strategize where we're going next. This is gonna be a pretty long day. Right back in the car again, directly in front of Auburn Town Hall. And now we're gonna figure out where we're going next. I just wanna show you guys once again that the map has been updated. As you can see, we got 2 yellow highlighted cities and towns, Marlborough and Auburn, spelling out the letters M and A of Massachusetts, 2 out of 13. So now that we're here in Auburn, got the letter A, we're gonna figure out where we're gonna go next to get the letter S. Now I did briefly see this earlier when I was looking, but there are 2 towns that are right nearby the town of Auburn that don't actually border the town of Auburn, which is really good because if it bordered it, that would be against the rules. But there are 2 towns that both begin with the letter S right next door to Auburn without touching Auburn. That, of course, is Spencer and Sutton. So what I'm personally thinking is we actually go westward towards Spencer first. And I'm not gonna say what my next move is just yet, but you can probably guess what I'm thinking. So I think what we're gonna do is just head 1 town over to Spencer, Massachusetts, and then go from there. So let's head over to Spencer Town Hall. All right, guys, so I'm sure you know the drill by now. We're gonna be rolling up on the town of Spencer, Massachusetts very shortly. Gonna be heading over to Spencer Town Hall, and that'll get us our very first S, the 3rd letter in spelling Massachusetts. And of course, Spencer will be the 3rd town. So we're almost there, gonna be there in just a few minutes. And hopefully we can capture this one pretty quick. And in terms of strategization, I already have a pretty solid idea of what we're gonna do next. So let's see. Well, guys, you know what time it is. We have officially made it to Spencer, Massachusetts. And as you can see directly behind me, I'm currently in front of Spencer Memorial Town Hall, which means we have officially captured our very first S in the word Massachusetts, one of many S's, in fact. So yeah, you can see it directly behind me, Spencer Memorial Town Hall here in the town of Spencer, Massachusetts. By the way, there's a guy who always comments on my videos here on YouTube, always asking me to come to Spencer, Massachusetts, because he's from Spencer. So if you're watching it, the guy who always comments, here I am. I'm officially in the town of Spencer, Massachusetts. I hope you're happy. J-Mass and Spencer. But yeah, this is the 3rd letter of Massachusetts. Let's go back to the car and strategize. All right, so we're back in the car again, parked right out front in Spencer Town Hall. And this is gonna be a very quick one because I already have an idea of what we're gonna do next. But let me just show you a quick update of the map. Here we have all 351 towns and cities in Massachusetts, 3 of them highlighted, Marlborough, Auburn, and Spencer. We've currently spelled out the letters M-A-S, and of course we have 1 more S. And as I was looking at this earlier, I sort of had an idea of what to do. As I mentioned, there was another S that was right nearby the town of Auburn that doesn't actually border the town of Auburn. So I think that's the one we're gonna do next. And that, of course, is the town of Sutton, Massachusetts. I think it makes sense to do Sutton next. So I'm actually gonna drive back eastward towards Sutton, and we're gonna hit that one. So let's do that right now. All right, guys, so I'm about 6 minutes out from Sutton Town Hall right now, heading into the town of Sutton, Massachusetts next. Hopefully we can knock this one out, get the second S of the word Massachusetts. But after we hit Sutton, I'm honestly not sure what our next step is going to be. This next section of the challenge is going to be a little tricky. Genuinely not sure where we're going to end up. Genuinely not sure what's going to happen, but I'm interested to see. So I'm going to get to Sutton Town Hall very shortly, knock that one out, capture the town, and then we'll see where we're going from there. So just a few more minutes. Well, guys, as you can see directly behind me, we've officially arrived at Sutton Town Hall here in Sutton, Massachusetts. We've achieved the second S of the word Massachusetts and, of course, the fourth letter of the word Massachusetts. So that means so far we've spelled out M-A-S-S, the word mass. I mean, mass for J-Mass, right? But here we are in Sutton, Massachusetts, Sutton Town Hall. Pretty cool looking town hall, pretty modest. There is a cool little cannon right over there. Actually, let's go to that cannon before I leave. I want to check this thing out. Look at this. Cool little cannon. But anyways, yeah, we're at Sutton Town Hall. We got the second S of Massachusetts, and now we're going to go into the car and strategize. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen next, so let's check it out. Back in the car yet again, right in front of Sutton Town Hall, and you know what that means. We got to strategize. We got to take a look at the map. Really quick, just an update. Here is my Massachusetts towns and cities map. You can see 4 towns and cities currently highlighted: Marlborough, Auburn, Spencer, and now Sutton. So now we got to figure out where we're going to go for the next letter A, because it's Mass, Massa. I mean, you guys know how to spell. Now this part is going to be a little tricky. I'm actually not sure where to go for this next A, so that's what I'm going to take a look at right now. Now, honestly, one thing I'm kind of thinking about is going to Ashland. I know earlier I was thinking about maybe going to Ashland for the previous A, but right now Ashland looks like it actually might be our best option for the next A. I really don't see any other A's nearby. I mean, I guess I could go to Attleboro, Attleboro, Mass, but that's kind of a haul. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to do Ashland. I think I'm going to go back up northeast to Ashland. I think that's our best option. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna go to Ashland, and at one point I do want to get something to eat because I'm completely hungry right now. So our 2 next steps are head to Ashland and get food, and then hopefully we'll have the 5th letter of Massachusetts. All right, let's go. So right now we are currently on our way over to Ashland, Massachusetts to hit the Ashland Town Hall. Just a few minutes away, and Ashland's an interesting one because we were actually looking at it earlier in the challenge. I know I was looking at it until I ultimately settled upon Auburn, Massachusetts for the first day, but we had a second chance for the second A, and Ashland was chosen, so we're heading to Ashland now to hit that. By the way, I am so hungry right now. It's about 12 p.m. as I film this, afternoon, so I actually went ahead and ordered Mexican food online from a local place in Ashland. So gonna hit the town hall, gonna strategize our next location, and then most importantly, I'm gonna get some delicious Mexican food from a place I've never been to before. So honestly, that's what I'm most hyped for. But anyways, I'll catch you guys at the town hall. Check it out, guys. Directly behind me, Ashland Town Hall. We've officially made it to Ashland, the town that got a second chance. Now that we're in Ashland, I can officially say that we've captured the second A in Massachusetts, meaning that we're on letter 5. We got to go to the car in a second and strategize. I genuinely don't know where we're going to go next for the letter C. Honestly, not sure. So curious where we're going to be going from here. But yeah, currently in front of Ashland Town Hall. So I'm going to head to the car, strategize, figure out where we're going next. And then most importantly, I'm going to get some food because I'm hungry. But yeah, here it is. Ashland Town Hall. Pretty nifty little town. I think I've only been here like once or twice before, so I don't know, cool to come back. All right, guys, we're in the car again, parked here in downtown Ashland, and gonna figure out where we're going next. Of course, I got to give you guys the update. All 5 towns and cities that we've been to so far highlighted on this map. You can see all 5 of them, the most recent one being Ashland. But from Ashland, I honestly don't know where we're going to go because the next letter is, of course, C, the 6th letter of Massachusetts. And looking at the map right now, so far nothing is popping out at me. What I could tell is that the closest town to us that begins with the letter C is Canton, Massachusetts. However, the problem with that is it's a bit far east. Now, here's the issue. After we do Canton, we have two kind of tough letters. We have H and we have U. I'll get into U later, but U is going to be not necessarily the trickiest, but the most specific letter, because there's only two towns in the entire state of Massachusetts that begin with the letter U, so we need to position ourselves properly. But I'm looking at the map right now, and I honestly think we're going to have to go for Canton. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for Canton, Massachusetts next. Yeah, I think I'm going to pin that one down. It's going to be a bit of a drive there and probably a bit of a drive back, but let's do it, Canton, Mass. Most importantly, let's go get food. All right, guys, really quick side mission here. So I just got back from Mexico City Taqueria here in Ashland, Massachusetts. Looked like a really nice local Mexican restaurant. I've never been here before, but I'm pretty excited to try it out. And of course, as you can see, I ordered takeout to go. Got my meal right here. First and foremost, I actually got a lime Doritos. I don't know if you've ever had a lime Doritos before, but it's literally the nectar of the gods. One of the most amazing drinks on earth. In fact, anytime I go to a Mexican restaurant, Doritos is my go-to. As a lot of you guys probably know, I actually don't drink alcohol, so anytime I go to a Mexican restaurant, Doritos is my personal go-to. So good. Doritos, if you want to sponsor me on this channel, I'm up for it. So we got that, and then this is what I ordered. I ordered a shrimp quesadilla. This is the shrimp quesadilla right here. Of course, we got sour cream and pico de gallo. I'm going to be having that while I'm driving because we just got so many more towns and cities to go to today. I can't really stop and eat. Unfortunately, I would have loved to stop at this restaurant and eat inside. It was really pretty inside. I just don't have time. So while I'm driving to Canton, Massachusetts, I'm going to be chowing down on some Mexico City Taqueria shrimp quesadillas and chugging my lime Doritos. All right, let's do this. Well, guys, that was the longest stretch of driving between any two towns of this challenge so far, but we're almost there. We've just entered the town of Canton, Massachusetts, and we're about to approach Canton Town Hall in just a few minutes. So before I arrive at Canton Town Hall, I do just want to say that shrimp quesadilla I had, pretty damn good. I liked it. It was very delicious, very cheesy. Honestly, one of the cheesiest quesadillas I've ever had. And of course, the lime Doritos, always a classic. It always hits. But anyways, we are going to be approaching Canton Town Hall very shortly, like momentarily. So we're going to head out there, check it off the list, and then I'm curious where we're going to be heading for the next letter. And guys, we are officially here at Canton Town Hall. This brick building directly behind me is, of course, Canton Town Hall here in Canton, Massachusetts. Pretty cool looking town hall. But now we are officially checking off the one and only letter C in the word Massachusetts. That means we now have 6 letters, M-A-S-S-A-C, spelled out for the word Massachusetts. Still have a little less than half to go. But yeah, we've just checked off C for Canton, Massachusetts. Gonna go back in the car in a second and strategize, update the map. But I did just want to show you, here we are, Canton Town Hall in Canton, Massachusetts. C is done, 6 letter and 6 towns done. We're making pretty good progress, but we still got a ways to go. And I'm also racing against the clock now because I believe in just about 2-3 hours it is about to rain. So hopefully we can complete this challenge before the rain comes. Well, guys, we are back in the car, parked right out front Canton Town Hall. And of course, as you can see, I've updated the map. These are all 6 towns and cities that we've visited thus far in this challenge, spelling out the letters M-A-S-S-A-C. That means we visited Marlborough, Auburn, Spencer, Sutton, Ashland, and now Canton. And now that we're in Canton, I gotta figure out where we're gonna go next to get the letter H. So the only H that I see nearby us is Holbrook. I guess there's also Hanover, but Holbrook. The problem is those are both eastward. We actually want to head westward because, and I'll get more to this later, but The letter U in Massachusetts is very specific. There's only 2 U towns in the entire state, and they're both in the same area, and that's west of Canton. So it doesn't really make sense to go eastward right now. Now I'm looking right now, and there actually are 3 H towns nearby those U's. There's Holliston, Hopkinton, and Hopedale. Now, interestingly, Hopkinton and Holliston actually border Ashland, which we just recently visited. Now, in the rules, they specifically state that I can't go to a town or city that borders a previous town city I went to, only if it's right after. So, Holliston and Hopkinton are available because I hadn't just gone to Ashland. Ashland was what I did before, then I went to Canton, now I'm going back. So Hopkinton and Holliston are available. Hopedale is kind of its own isolated town, not bordering anything. But for the sake of what I'm trying to do, I'm actually going to go for Holliston, and you'll see why shortly. So I think what we're going to do is head back westward, all the way back to where we came from, to Holliston. Let's go to Holliston, Massachusetts. What up, guys? So I'm currently on my way over to the Holliston Town Hall. We're going to be approaching Holliston, Massachusetts in just a few moments. But I do have unfortunate news, and that is it just started raining. Like literally 2 minutes before I started filming, it was raining. I thought it was going to start raining much later in the day, like 4 p.m., but it's 1:45 p.m. as I film this, and it just started raining. So unfortunately, we're probably going to be finishing the rest of the challenge in the rain. Let's hope it doesn't become a storm, but I did just want to give you guys an update on that. So we're going to be at the Holliston Town Hall very shortly, and see what happens from there. So unfortunately, it started raining significantly earlier than I expected, but that's all good because as you can see directly behind me, we've officially made it to Holliston Town Hall. This right here is Holliston Town Hall, pretty modest looking building, but that means that we can officially mark down the letter H. That's our 7th letter, and this is our 7th town for this challenge. So H is now complete. We've officially made it to Holliston, Massachusetts, Holliston Town Hall. And in a second, I'm gonna go back to my car and strategize, which by strategize, I mean I already know where I'm going, but we'll discuss that. But yeah, this is the letter H, the one and only H in the word Massachusetts. We're making pretty good progress, just a few more letters to go, and then we've officially spelled out the entire word Massachusetts. But I do just want to show this little town hall area really quick. It's kind of cool, got a nice little monument right here. And then this is one of the few town halls that actually has this out front, where it actually says Holliston Town Hall. So many of the town halls I've seen today literally just say town hall and that's it. This one actually tells you the town or city you're in. So that's weirdly rare, but all right, let's get to the car. All right, guys, back in the car again, right out front of Holliston Town Hall. And once again, I have the map officially updated to showcase our current status. You can see I just filled in Holliston. This is what we got so far. These are all of the towns and cities that we've visited here in Massachusetts for this challenge. Now, this strategization moment is not going to take very long because I already know the town we're going to. And spoiler alert, the next town we're going to is Upton. We're going to Upton, Massachusetts. Now, let me just explain this really quick. So, the next letter, of course, is U, the letter U in Massachusetts. There are only 2 towns in the entire state of Massachusetts that begin with the letter U. That is Upton, the one we're going to, and Uxbridge. Now, interestingly, Upton and Uxbridge are actually not that far away from each other geographically. Actually, if I can see, Upton and Uxbridge are literally just 1 town apart. They're actually divided by the town Northbridge. So Northbridge literally dissects Uxbridge and Upton. They're right next to each other. So basically, we had either option to choose from. The reason I'm choosing Upton is because it's a shorter drive and it's actually more northward. From there, we're probably going to go northward. That's my guess. I don't know yet where we're going to go after this, but I think Upton just makes the most sense. So we're going to go to Upton, but I did just want to say U was an interesting one because there are literally only 2 choices. So if for some reason we ended up all the way in Western Massachusetts when I randomized the start point, we still would have had to come to Uxbridge or Upton. So that was the one that I was pretty interested in, but I think we kind of lucked out geographically with this challenge. All right, let's go to Upton, our next choice. Guys, I am currently on my way over to Upton Town Hall, just a few minutes away from Upton, and I gotta say we are making very good time on this challenge. I was a little worried earlier about the time frame, but we're making good time. We're about to hit the letter U, and then we just have SETTS. So not too much left. Gonna get over to Upton Town Hall, gonna knock out the letter U, and then I'm curious to see what happens from there. I genuinely don't know what the last few letters will hold. I'm very curious to see where we end up by the end of the day today. So anyways, gonna head right there and see what happens. Well guys, we've officially made it to the town of Upton, Massachusetts. And as you can see directly behind me, we've officially arrived in front of the Upton Town Hall, one of only 2 U towns here in Massachusetts. This right here, of course, is Upton Town Hall. You can barely make out the word Upton because it's covered by that Christmas wreath. But yes, this is Upton Town Hall here in Upton. Again, one of only 2 U's, and that does mean we've knocked out the only U in the word Massachusetts. That's the 8th letter. This is the 8th town. We're making pretty good progress, and we're almost complete spelling out the entire word Massachusetts. Just a few more letters left, and then we're done. So anyways, now that we're here in Upton, I can cross this one off. Gonna go to the car, check it off, and then I'm really curious where we're going next because now we're back blind again. I don't know what's gonna happen next, so join me. All right, guys, you know the drill by now. We're back in the car. We got Upton Town Hall right next door. And of course, I got the updated map. You can see all 8 towns and cities that we visited thus far, all highlighted in yellow. That's a pretty nice assortment of towns and cities. Very interesting to see that it's mostly been centralized in the Metro West region of Massachusetts, with a couple exceptions. However, now I genuinely don't know where we're going to be headed. So, of course, after the letter U is the letter S. We have yet another S. We've already been to 2. This is now the 3rd S. And I got to figure out where we're going to go. So, looks like one option is Shrewsbury. We could head northward towards Shrewsbury. That actually might be the only option now that I'm looking at it. I guess we could go to Southborough, but I think I'm sort of leaning towards Shrewsbury. Yeah, it looks like Shrewsbury is the only realistic option. Again, we could do Southborough, but I think we'll head northward towards Shrewsbury. We'll do Shrewsbury for the S, and then after that is the letter E, which E, I'm very interested to see what happens with that. So anyways, let's go to Shrewsbury. Yo guys, I'm currently on my way over to Shrewsbury Town Hall in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts to get our 9th letter, the letter S, which is a pretty familiar letter to us already. So we're going to be getting the 9th letter, the 3rd S at Shrewsbury Town Hall. We're going to be there very momentarily. Just want to check in with you guys as we do that. The rain's still coming down, although it's not as bad as it was earlier. But we're getting close, and I'm really curious what our next play will be after this. Honestly, E is what I'm most curious about. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Well, guys, we officially made it, and we are currently standing in front of the Shrewsbury Town Hall here in the town of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. And I have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is the lamest town hall I visited today. I mean, look at this thing. It doesn't even say town hall on it. I actually made a comment earlier at the Holliston town hall that it's pretty rare to see any signage that actually says like the name of the city or town you're in. But Shrewsbury Town Hall literally doesn't even have a sign that even says Town Hall. I mean, this is Shrewsbury Town Hall right here. But there's no signage. I mean, dude, come on. I'm sorry, but like that's ridiculous. Anyways, first world problems aside, yes, we have officially made it here to Shrewsbury Town Hall, which means we can mark down the 3rd letter S on the list. That means this is the 9th location and the 9th letter. Curious to see where we're going next, so I'm going to head right into the car and figure out where we're going. Now, it is getting dark soon, and I believe the actual rainstorm is going to happen later, so now it's a race against the clock to see if we can complete this challenge before nightfall. I'm hoping we can, but if not, either way, I'm finishing it today. So, yeah, I'm going to leave Shrewsbury now and see where we're going next. But, I mean, dude, what is this? Come on. This is ridiculous. You call this a town? All right, guys, back in the car yet again in front of the worst town hall I visited on this trip. I don't know why I'm shitting on it so much. Anyways, this is the map right here. Every single city and town we visited on this challenge so far. That's 9 total cities and towns. Spelling out the letters MASSACHUS. So all we have left is ETTS. And E is what I'm very interested in. I genuinely don't know where we're going to go. I haven't even looked. So we're currently in Shrewsbury. And of course, you can look along with me, see what you would choose if you were in my position. Right off the bat, I do not see any towns or cities nearby that begin with an E. So I have a feeling we're going to be doing a bit of driving for this next one. Wow, this is actually a tough one. This might be the toughest choice. So I do see East Brookfield. That's actually near Spencer, which is one of the earlier towns we visited. Yeah, so there's East Brookfield. Wow, there's not a lot of options of E's nearby. I think I might have to do East Brookfield. All right, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but I'm gonna do a little bit more looking. All right, guys, you know what? My only option is East Brookfield. I'm very low on options here, so that's going to be a bit of a drive, I think. Well, maybe not too long. I don't know. Either way, East Brookfield is our only choice, so that's where we're going next to get the letter E. East Brookfield, Massachusetts. All right, guys, so we're currently on our way over to East Brookfield Town Hall in East Brookfield, Massachusetts, which will give us the letter E, the 10th letter in the Massachusetts word, also our 10th town. And once we do that, I really don't know what to expect for the next 3 letters. After this one, we only have 3 left. That is T, T, and S. So that means we got 2 back-to-back T's and an S. Genuinely not sure what to expect. Also, of course, nightfall is coming. It is 3:30 as I film this. It's getting darker and the rain is quickly picking up. So we're getting to the point now where I just don't know what to expect. But anyways, we're almost there. Just a few more minutes. We're going to get to East Brookfield, and then from there we can figure out our next step. But I'm very curious what the end game will yield. And just like that, we've officially arrived in the town of East Brookfield, Massachusetts. And you can see directly behind me is the East Brookfield Town Hall. Now you might notice this town hall looks like a public library. You also might notice it literally says East Brookfield Public Library on that sign right there. But I can assure you this is in fact a town hall. It is actually part of a municipal complex, which consists of the town hall, the library, police station, I mean, all that stuff, you know, all the municipal government stuff. But anyways, this is the East Brookfield Town Hall, and that means that we have the letter E. We officially have the 10th letter in the word Massachusetts. This is also the 10th town. So the letter E is done. Now we only have 3 letters left, T, T, and S. As you can see, it's getting pretty dark. The rain is coming down, and I'm genuinely curious what's going to happen next. So I'm going to head over to the car. We're going to figure out what our next stop is. I don't know, see where we'll end up at the end of the challenge. But yeah, ending it off here at letter E in East Brookfield, Massachusetts. All right, guys, the rain is really coming down now, but nonetheless, we're back in the car, East Brookfield Town Hall / public library / police station / whatever, right beside us. And I've updated the map once again. You can see it has all 10 cities and towns in Massachusetts that we visited, with East Brookfield being the most recent. So we have the letters M, A, S, S, A, C, H, U, S, and E all set to go. We only have TTS left. Now, this is where I'm really interested because I genuinely have no clue where we're going next. So, I'm gonna take a look right now. So we're in East Brookfield, and I gotta find a town or a city that begins with the letter T. And I'm already having a lot of trouble with that. Doesn't seem like there are any T's nearby, and we have 2 T's, to be fair. So, fast forward a bit as I look through this map. All right, guys, so I think our best option based on our location and where we are is honestly the town of Templeton, Massachusetts. Now, Templeton is pretty far northward from where we are. I have a feeling it's probably a 45-minute drive, maybe 50-minute drive. So it's pretty far, but it doesn't really make sense to go anywhere else. And honestly, Templeton does seem to be the closest town to us that begins with the letter T. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start heading towards the town of Templeton. And then I do think we'll have a better option once we're up there to do T and S. So let's do that now. It's 3:45 p.m. Nightfall is coming. Let's go straight to Templeton, Massachusetts. All right, guys, so we're quickly approaching Templeton Town Hall. I'm already in the town of Templeton, Massachusetts. Just another minute or two until we reach the town hall. And then we'll be getting the 11th letter and the 11th town of this challenge. One of two T's, pretty much. It was a bit of a drive to get here, about 45 minutes driving from East Brookfield to Templeton. This was one of the longest distances between towns for this challenge, but we're almost there. And then I think once we're in Templeton, off the top of my head, I can think of a couple towns and cities I might be able to do. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, almost at Templeton Town Hall. And then from there, we will do a little bit more strategization. Guys, we are so back. We are currently in the town of Templeton, Massachusetts. And directly behind me is Templeton Town Hall. That's right, this is Templeton Town Hall, the first of two T's and the 11th letter and the 11th town of this challenge. You can see it directly behind me, and I just want to show you really quickly, compared to the last two town halls that we visited, this one actually says the name. Look at this. Templeton Town Hall, it actually says it. Wow, shocking. Yeah, take notes, Shrewsbury. Anyways, so now that we're here, I'm gonna be heading back to my car in a second. We're gonna strategize. I don't know yet where we're gonna head next. So it'll be interesting to check the map and see what our next option is. But I just wanted to come at you here live from Templeton, Massachusetts, right in front of the town hall. And it is getting dark. That's the main thing. You can already see it. It's getting pretty dark. Nightfall is quickly approaching and the rain is picking up. So I'm curious what the weather and time will be like at the next spot. All right, catch you there. Back in the car, right in front of Templeton Town Hall. Updated map ready for you. That's right, we're just getting right into it, guys. My hair's getting wet from all the rain. Jeez. All right, this is the updated map right here. You can see we got 11 towns and cities that we visited today on this challenge. 11 right before nightfall. I think the 12th one might be during nightfall. We'll have to see. So we just went to Templeton, and now we got one more T. So just as you can see on this word here, we got M-A-S-S-A-C-H-U-S-E-T. We got T and S left. So let's take a look. We're in Templeton. Now we got another T that we need to visit. So the first town that really sticks out to me is Townsend. Townsend is located eastward from Templeton. And personally, I think Townsend is the best bet off the top of my head. I don't really see much westward, and even if I did, I don't know if westward is the best option. Yeah, I don't really see much west of us, to be honest, like in terms of T's. But I do see Townsend east of us, and I think that might be my go-to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Townsend. So let's go to Townsend, Massachusetts, our next town, and we'll work from there. See you guys there. So I'm currently on my way over to Townsend, Massachusetts to visit Townsend Town Hall to capture our 12th letter, the letter T. And as I make my way over there, you can probably tell that it's already nighttime. I mean, the darkness has crept in. It's getting significantly darker now. It's still raining, but the show must go on. We only have two letters left, T and S, and then we've officially completed the word Massachusetts. So I'm not going to be stopping anytime soon. I'm not going to let the darkness stop me. We are going to be filming the last two scenes at night. Hopefully not a big deal. Hopefully the camera quality isn't too bad, but just letting you guys know, as you can see, it is now officially nighttime. It's actually 5 p.m. as I film this. Yes, it does get pretty dark pretty early in New England in the winter, unfortunately. But anyways, on my way over to Townsend Town Hall, and I'll meet you guys there.
Well, we've officially made it. We are currently standing in front of Townsend Town Hall here in the town of Townsend. That's right, the town of Townsend and Townsend Town Hall. So this is Townsend Town Hall directly behind me. Obviously, as you can see at this point, the darkness is entirely in session right now. It is nighttime, very dark out, and as a result, the camera quality is a little grainy. So I do apologize for that. I'm gonna try to make this one pretty brief, but I did just want to show you, we are currently in Townsend. And as a result, we've just captured our 12th letter, the second T in Massachusetts, and the 12th letter in the word Massachusetts. So that means we only have one letter left. We are so close to completing the word Massachusetts by visiting every city and town in Massachusetts with that letter. I mean, it's crazy. We started early in the morning. It's already late. It's not that late. It's like 5 p.m., but it's already nighttime, and yeah, crazy stuff. Anyways, guys, we're gonna head to the next spot. We're gonna go to the car. We're gonna strategize and figure out where we're gonna be ending off the challenge today. I'm pretty interested to see where that is. Oh, and by the way, before I leave, we got another cannon. Look at that, another cannon. Oh shit, the cops are after me. The cops are after me, guys. I gotta go.
All right, guys, back in the car again. It's dark out, it's rainy out, but we're right here in front of Townsend Town Hall. And hopefully you can see the map. Hopefully it's not too dark and grainy, but once again, oh wow, that's like glowing. Look at that. All the cities and towns of Culloden are like glowing right now. It's kind of cool. But these are the 12 cities and towns in Massachusetts that we've visited for this challenge so far. Spelling out the letters M-A-S-S-A-C-H-U-S-E-T-T. That means we only have one letter left, letter number 13, the final S. So we're here in Townsend, and I got to figure out where our next spot will be. So let's take a look. Now, one thing that's a little annoying is there's actually a town called Shirley, except it's directly bordering Townsend. So Shirley is off the table. We can't go there. One option we could do is Stow. There's a town called Stow. Bit of a drive away. It's actually more near Marlborough, where we originally started. Sudbury is near that. Or we could go back down south towards Sterling, Massachusetts. You know what? I think with all my options, I think I'm gonna go for Stow. I'm gonna go for Stow, Massachusetts. Ultimately, it doesn't matter since it's the final one, but I think Stow is probably the easiest to get to, and it's, I believe, right near a highway. So I think I'm gonna do Stow, Massachusetts, and I will meet you guys there at the final stop of our challenge. We're almost there, guys. We're in the home stretch. We just have one more town hall to visit, and that is, of course, Stow Town Hall in Stow, Massachusetts. And once we get there, we'll have achieved the entire word Massachusetts. We'll get the 13th letter, the 13th town, and we'll have hit all 13 cities and towns needed to spell out Massachusetts in this one single day for this challenge. I'm pretty hyped for that. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the drive over to Stow from Townsend was actually a lot longer than I expected. It was actually like a 45, well, not 45, but like maybe 42-minute drive. So it's about 6 p.m. right now as I film this. So anyways, I'm almost there. I'm gonna get there momentarily, and then we'll check out Stow Town Hall and call it a night. Well, guys, we've officially did it. We're currently standing right outside of Stow Town Hall here in Stow, Massachusetts, which means that we've achieved the 13th and final letter of the name Massachusetts, the letter S. That means that today we've hit 13 towns and cities. That means 13 town and city halls that have led us to spell out the entire word of Massachusetts. The challenge is officially completed. We got the letters M-A-S-S-A-C-H-U-S-E-T-T, and now the 13th and final letter S here in Stow. I can't believe it. This challenge was a fascinating one. It's one I've been thinking about for months now, years even, but we officially did it. We spelled out the entire word Massachusetts by physically visiting towns and cities throughout the state of Massachusetts, each one with the letter corresponding to the first letter of its name. Crazy stuff.
We'll get into the logistics and the details shortly, but yeah, let's celebrate Stow Town Hall, the 13th and final letter of the word Massachusetts. I can't believe it. And it's like 6 p.m. It's dark out. It's rainy. Yeah, crazy stuff. But here we are.
All right, guys, so I'm back in the car again, but I'm just going to keep this brief. I want to show you the finalized official map of every city and town that we visited to complete this challenge. You can see them all glowing in highlighter yellow right here. These are all 13 cities and towns that we visited to complete this challenge. And looking at this map, it's pretty interesting to see where we went and where we didn't go in Massachusetts. You can see pretty much everything is centered around the Metro West region of Massachusetts, which is pretty interesting. There's really only a few outliers like Canton and maybe Templeton and Townsend, but overall, most of the cities and towns we visited today were in the Metro West region and around the Worcester, Massachusetts area. So it's pretty interesting to see that we were mostly in this region. It didn't really bring us any further out than I honestly expected. In fact, that makes me realize, looking back at the whole challenge, that where you begin the challenge truly matters, and that greatly affects your performance and trajectory. So obviously, through the program I used to randomly generate where we would start the challenge, it randomly generated the city of Leominster, Massachusetts. That's where we started. And Leominster is basically north of this area right here. So as a result, we were mostly staying around that area. It makes me think that really matters. You know, if the program had randomly generated a town in a completely different region of Massachusetts, then that would have affected us and we probably would have been centered around that region. So I think that where you start the challenge truly matters, and it greatly affects your performance and trajectory. That's what I realized. I think that's why we were mostly centered in that area, because obviously you're going to go to nearby towns or cities. But that being said, we didn't really go out as far as I expected. But nonetheless, we went to 13 towns and cities to spell out all 13 letters in Massachusetts. Pretty crazy. It took us nearly the entire day. I started around 8 a.m. It's now 6 p.m. And I didn't really stop much other than to film and of course for lunch. So pretty interesting challenge. I'm glad you guys joined me on it, but I had a great time. I cannot believe we officially spelled the word Massachusetts by physically visiting towns and cities in Massachusetts with the letter that corresponds to it. It's a stupid idea, but it was fun.